Hi, my name is Clint with Crimson Landscape. In this video, we'll explain the setup of the Hunter Hydrawise dashboard, how to program a zone, and how to program your overall system to water based on time of year. This video is not for everybody across the United States. This video is specifically for people located in the Dallas area. There'll be some programming that we don't utilize within the smart control system just because of the nature of how we have major temperature swings and weather swings here in Dallas. Sometimes it gets really, really cold. Sometimes it gets really, really wet. A lot of times it stays really dry and hot. It just depends. Therefore, we do a lot of manual manipulation of the programming based on the quarter, based on the weather. We'll start with zones and programming. So when our team installs this system, it'll look something like this. We'll have each zone labeled, we'll have the pictures taken for the zone, and it'll all be set up in the system. We have designated whether you have a master valve or not. Each zone will be located based on the type it is. So you can see we got spray, 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 drip, and down here we have tree bubbler zones and backyard pots. One thing you also need to check is to make sure that if you do, which we always add rain sensors to all our new installations just because it's required by code. This little blue umbrella here signifies if that zone is protected under the rain-free sensor. There are other sensors that can be added, but in general, the rain-free sensor will be the most common. Moving down here for water triggers. These are the standard triggers we set up based on time of year. They vary based on what time of year it is. So as you can see, this says don't water when the forecast is below 45 degrees. Based on the soil content here in Dallas, we still want to water if it's cold outside. So we have it set up to not water if it's less than 45. We have the water 30% less if today's forecast is less than 77. We have that turned off because again, we want it to water. We have it set up to water 20% more if it's above 98 degrees. Again, we do change our programming in the spring and summer based on the amount of heat, rain, and all that other good stuff that'll happen. So this is set up for extreme conditions. If it's 98 degrees or above, we will water 20% more. Don't rain if the chance of rain is 80% or higher. Then down here it's don't water if the wind speed is going to be higher than 19. And lastly is use forecast temperature to predict smart watering and use forecast rainfall to predict smart watering. Yes, you want both those turned on. Sensors. Here's a sensor section. It shows that every zone is protected by the rain-free sensor. And if there's other sensors, that's where this is added. Controller settings I won't get into, and reports I won't get into for this video. Okay, so we're going to go over to zone, to programs, and we're going to add a program. So we're under, again, zones and programs. We clicked on programs. We're going to add a program. Okay, we're going to name this program. We're going to call it Winter. And we're going to put the date 1/3/2025. We always put the date just for the fact that we know when the last time the system was programmed. We're going to do time-based programming. Okay, so here you have even days, odd days, or interval watering. The key thing is if you go with even days, every day must be turned on. So I just turned them off. Every day must be turned on. If you go with interval watering, same thing. Every day must be turned on. So we can say every 3 days. Again, every day must be turned on. We can go with odd watering, even, interval, and we can go with selected days of the week. We typically go with selected days of the week. It's the most common for us. And let's say, for example, we're just going to water for Mondays because it is winter. Again, we want to get the ground wet. We're going to add a start time. We're going to add 11 p.m. Because it's winter, it's a good start time. Correction, 11 a.m. If you go less, if you put it at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the winter, don't forget your rain-free sensor will engage and it may not water. So we're going with 11 a.m. because it's generally warm enough in the winter to engage the system and won't be stopped by the rain-free sensor. Okay, we're gonna, if you want to, you can add a second start time, but we're not going to, again, because it's winter. We're gonna go next and we're gonna select every zone. Each one of these is a zone. The order they're listed here is the order they're in the system. So this is number 1, this is number 10. This is a 14 station controller. Okay, last side of spray, how much we're going to water. Okay, so we're going to water once a week. So we're going to say 12 minutes. It is a spray zone. So all these are spray zones. We're going to do 12 minutes. Turf right side, turf front yard, 12 minutes. Turf front parkway. This is a drip zone, so we're going to do this 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Tree bulbers, we're going to say tree bulbers, we're going to do that for 10 minutes. In backyard pots, we're going to do it for 15 minutes. Now, I just put in generic numbers in this based on, just to show you an example. Each number that you see in here is going to be different based on how much sun the space gets, how much shade coverage it has, is it north, south, east, west of the property. All that makes sense in how you set up the watering times. But this is just generic watering times for the purposes of this video. We're going to click next. Okay, again, forecasted below 45S, 80% chance of rain, yes. Wind above 19, yes. Yes, yes to all that. Water longer when hot, yes. Okay, now there's a grow-in program you can put in here if it's brand new landscaping. We don't use that simply for the fact is we actually have dedicated personnel checking the programming, and we send technicians out to check on the landscape as well as part of a new landscape package. This is a great option if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you want to grow in your new landscape, especially during a warmer time of the year. Monthly adjustments. You can do monthly adjustments. You can leave one program and you can do monthly adjustments. Again, we don't do that because where we're at, located in Texas, the extreme weather shifts and conditions. We're going to click OK. Okay, and you see now we're set up. Okay, we're set up for one. This is the name of the program. This is when we programmed it. It's scheduled to water Mondays 11 a.m. and everything shows in here when it's scheduled to water. Okay, you can go over here to reports real fast and you just look at the schedule and it's showing when it's scheduled to water. So right now it's scheduled to water, let me go to the next week. Okay, it's scheduled to water Monday at 11 a.m. Right now you can see the predictive technology in the Hydrawise is already telling the system that we're not going to water Monday because Monday is supposed to be really cold here in Dallas. So right now it's scheduled not to water. So this is a basic tutorial on how to set up your Hydrawise system. If you have any questions, you can contact our team at crimsonlandscape.com.